Hey guys, welcome to the 5th episode of Hawk's Flight Farm Book Review. God, we're already starting out on an awesome note. Welcome to Hawk's Flight Farm's 5th episode of Book Corner Review. Yes! Okay, now that we got all that out of the way. So this episode, I'm going to do 5 book recommendations. We're not going to go all into the reviews on them, but I will give you a bit of a rundown on what they're about, why I recommend them, and they all have a common thing where there are animals involved. I am trying to have some more variety in these videos, and what I want from you guys is to please leave comments down there and let me know if there is something that you want me to read, if you want me to review, something you want me to do, like a top 5 list or whatever. And I will try to accommodate you. Like I said, variety is the spice of life. So without further ado, we're going to get started. The first book is one that was a gift from my sister who lives in South Korea. And it is, gosh, the light sucks. It is The Hen Who Dreamed She Could Fly by Sun-Mi Hwang. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Once again, this is a South Korean author. This book has 134 pages, and the English translation was published in 2013. Now, this book, we follow a little chicken named Sprout, and this book is written from her point of view, her telling it. And she is a chicken that was kept for just eggs. She lived in a little tiny cage, kind of like a factory egg farm type deal. And the thing she wants most out of life is to live out in the yard with the free-ranging chickens and the free-ranging ducks. And she's at the kind of the end of her egg production life. She stops laying eggs. The farmers decide to cull her. But she miraculously doesn't die, and she ends up going on this adventure. And another one of her dreams is she wants to hatch out an egg. Well, I'm not going to give away any spoilers. And she meets some new friends, and there's a little bit of a predator thing in there. It's a very short book. I read it in I think 3 hours, but it's cute. It's sweet at times. The end, while it does hit you in the feels a little bit, but it's a short book, and for anyone who likes chickens, definitely recommend it. All right, next book is the first in a trilogy. This has been out for a while. This book is The Golden Compass by Phillip Pullman. This book is 399 pages, and it was published in 1995, the first book. And like I said, it is a trilogy, and the second book is The Subtle Knife, and the third book is The Amber Spyglass. And there are a couple of offshoots, a few offshoots that they have done to kind of flesh out the story. There is also a new trilogy that kind of is a prequel to this one, which I will talk about later because I have been reading those as well. But anyway, The Golden Compass follows the main character, Lyra, who I believe she's 12 years old. And in this world, it's a lot like ours, but the soul of a human has 2 parts. You have the human part, but you have an outside part of your soul that comes in the shape of an animal. Before you hit puberty, this animal part of your soul can shift into whatever animal it decides. This animal part of your soul is called a demon. And demons are important in the fact that if they die, you die, and vice versa. It is totally against the law for another human to touch your demon, and vice versa. It's wrong. But anyway, Lyra goes on this adventure when her uncle, Lord Asriel, shows up, and she finds out about this conspiracy in which people are stealing children, and she goes to find these child stealers, nicknamed gobblers, when her best friend turns up missing. It's very, very good. I really liked the double soul part. Another note on that, when you do hit puberty, your demon settles as the animal that most reflects your personality, your soul. So like a warrior would have some sort of predator as a demon, something like that. But this has, like I said, been out for a while. They did try to do a movie and it failed miserably, just because it didn't really follow the books all that well. But they do now have a HBO series, TV series, which has been out for 2 seasons now. They are making a 3rd season, and it is very good. Still some stuff that isn't quite in line with the books, but definitely much better, and I've been enjoying it so far. Golden Compass, Phillip Pullman. We've got The Silver Falcon by Katia Fox. This book is 526 pages long, and the English translation was published in 2013. In this book, we follow the main character named William, who was born to a blacksmith mother who specializes in swords. And this book takes place in the Middle Ages, in the ages of knights and kings and barons. And of course, falconry was a huge thing back then. Now, William was born with a club foot, and so everyone, just assumed that he was going to become a swordsmith like his mother. But he didn't want that for his life. He loved falcons. And after finding the king's injured falcon, he finds this bird in a field after it went missing. He returns it to the king, and after a while, he gets his chance to become a falconer. And there's a enemy he makes in it that lasts until the end of the book. I mean, his life takes some turns, some twists. Some of it's great, some of it's really sad. Great book. I very much enjoyed it. I will make one point. There is some sections in here that deal with homosexuality. If you don't like that or whatever, maybe not read this book. It's not a main thing of the book. Since it takes place in the Middle Ages, that was against their laws back then. It was a curse against God. It was, people were put to death for that type of thing. So there is some of that in there too. Silver Falcon, Katia Fox, wonderful read. We've got The Dragonriders of Pern by Anne McCafferey. I have the trilogy set. So this is 3 books in one. You've got Dragonflight, Dragon Quest, and The White Dragon. And in the first book, which I'm just going to cover the first book to not give away any spoilers. But in the first book, if you guys haven't heard of the Dragons of Pern, there is several different trilogies and series that make up this world, and they can be read separate from one another. And I jump around. I have another one that I'm going to be reading, and I will see if I like that one as well. I really like this one, so I'm sure I'll like that one too. But okay, in Dragonflight, we follow Lissa, or Lessa. She is of a birthright to become a what you call a werewoman, but a danger comes to her area in the way of the threads, which the threads are the main enemy in the world of Pern. They're cosmic kind of things that come down and burn everything they touch, and the dragons are there to fight those. Anyway, so the threads come, and she has to go and get involved with the dragons and everything and help beat the threads back. So that's kind of what the trilogy is about. There are dragons. People ride the dragons to fight threads, and can't really go into much more than that without giving away spoilers, but look into the Dragons of Pern and this trilogy. Any of the Pern books, they're good. Anne McCaffery is a wonderful author. Okay, and the fifth book and last one for this episode, we're going to be talking about The Many Selves of Katherine North by Emma Geen. Now, this book is about 348 pages long. It came out in 2016. And this book, we follow the titular character, Katherine, who works for this scientific laboratory that is so technologically advanced. They have the capabilities to link human beings' minds with those of animals. So they raise these animals in labs, and then they train these people to link up with these animal minds, and they can basically live like animals, or, you know, get their senses and go out and hunt and whatever animal they turn into. These people that do this, they're called phenomots. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But these phenomots have what you call handlers, who are the voices of reason, and they link up with the person who's in a shift, or jump as they call it in the book, through headsets, and they can talk to them while they're in shifts, and that way they don't lose their mind to the animal, and they can give them instructions. And it's basically, this whole program is to work around finding a way for humans to better understand animals and find a way to live more peacefully with them. With that being said, the scientific corporation gets involved in some very not quite morally right stuff, and Katherine makes it her mission to find out what's going on and what she can do to stop. It's interesting. So, Many Selves of Katherine North by Emma Geen. Very good. Highly recommend it. Yeah, I don't have any more to say about that. So once again, that's going to be the episode this time. Just giving some recommendations. As you can see, I have a lot of books, and I do also have a lot of books that incorporate many, many pages in my notebook that I need to read yet, or acquire. So there'll be more, but I do want to know if there's anything specific you want me to do, and I will try to get that done for you guys. So I guess that's it for this week. I hope you're staying reading, and hope you have a good week. Bye.